You can either stay at your job and get replaced by AI, or you can quit your job and learn about AI. This is the AI employment paradox that I want to talk about today. This is week 12. My name is Jarrett, and I'm building a company from scratch. So I want to talk about why I quit my job today, and it has to do with the employment paradox that I've already laid out. I quit my job for two reasons. One, I'll name the second reason at the end, but number one is the employment paradox. I work on my computer, I work remotely, and I'm looking at this thing that's AI, and I'm saying, oh my God, if this is eventually going to replace me, then what's stopping me from quitting my job now, learning about it, and trying to be a little bit ahead of the game? But the AI employment paradox is super simple because it's like you stay at your job and you make short-term money, but I think long-term you're not securing your bag because you may be replaced by AI. Or you can quit your job, short-term, have a lot of pain. It is not fun. I've been intentionally unemployed for a while, playing with AI, learning AI, helping out other people with AI. Short-term pain, but ideally in 3 to 5 years, my long-term bag, my long-term money is going to be okay. And this AI employment paradox is something I talk about with basically everyone who works on a computer. Because if you work on a computer, whether you work remote, as I've been working, or you work in an office and you go into an office to physically, log into your laptop or use a desktop, if you are a human and you put energy and your ability into a computer, I think that it's not it's not like a if it's going to happen, it's more of a when. And so when I realized that, I was like, I have to get out of here. So I quit my job and I've been playing with AI. I'm going to be launching Chump in the next 6-7 days. You can see I got my jersey on. Columbia plays tonight. World Cup is here. Very, very exciting. That has been crushing my ability to focus and get my work done to get AI done, to work with AI to get Chump out. And you can go check out highchump.com if you want to learn more. It's going to be a personal finance product. I'm calling it the Duolingo of personal finance. To get there, though, I had to quit my job. Now, there is a happy medium, and a lot of my friends say, hey, well, why don't you just like stay in your job and then nights and weekends you can do AI. I actually think you can do that too. But I think if you do that, let's say you do 2 hours every night, and on the weekends you're spending all Saturday and Sunday doing it, and you're giving 8 hours on Saturday and Sunday. So 8 hours on Saturday, Sunday gives you 16. Throughout the week, you do five by two, so you do 2 hours every night. That gives you 26 hours. I think that that's fine, but I think in the way that AI is moving, I think that's fine for like not AI stuff. If you have a hobby, if you're running a side hustle, whatever it is, you're running some shop online, totally think you can do it. But with AI, I'm a firm believer that you actually need all your focus, right? I'm a firm believer of the idea of like whatever you focus on expands. And AI moves so fast. And this is just me. When I say AI, I'm really just using Claude and Claude products, and using some other LLMs, but really my focus is on Claude. Claude changes so much. Claude changes probably every week, and every week you have to like recalibrate and probably learn 10% new things every week. And so if you're only doing nights and weekends, I think it's really, really hard to stay ahead of that curve, which is where you get back to, am I going to stay in my job and make money in the short term, but long term, I don't know. Because if you stay in your job and you don't focus on AI and you're not doing a hybrid, maybe you have the discipline to do the hybrid. I don't know if I had the discipline to do the hybrid. I'm better on focusing on just one thing. But if you can do the hybrid, do the hybrid. That's like the caveat on this video. But otherwise, it's like stay in your job. And what if you were in your job and you're making really, really good money over the next 3 years? Well, I hope you're really investing because the stock market's also going to explode because we're going to print so much money to cover our debt. But if you're doing that, I think you're going to make really good money over the next 3 years. But if you're not looking at AI and learning those tools, in 3 years, you're not going to have a job. And you're probably not going to have a job potentially into the future. AI is just going to remove jobs. It's not like, we have 100 jobs at a company. AI takes away 50. I actually think if AI takes away 50 jobs, 10 will come back because they'll realize, okay, we need 20% of humans back to like figure out these things. But if you have 100 jobs and you remove 50 and you only bring back 20%, so you bring back 10, you've gone from a workforce of 100 down to 60, and those 40 are just not coming back because they're going to tell the other 60 people to replace all of the output with AI. And I really think if you're looking at AI and you're strategic about it, you can absolutely do this today. People say, oh, you can't do that. You can do this today. It takes some time. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know how to build the systems, and you have to approach it differently than in the past because these aren't humans. You can't approach AI as if it's a human because it's not. Then I think you can do it. So you could work the next 3 years, make a bunch of money. I pray you're investing it. But if you're not keeping your eye on the ball, you will be replaced by AI, and then I don't know what you're going to do. Or you could take the next probably 6 to 12 months. This is what I'm doing. I'm not telling anyone to do anything that I wouldn't do. I'd never done that on any channel that I've created content for. I'm taking 6 to 12 months, and I've now been 90 days into AI, so I have 9 months left. I'm building a company. I'm actually going to build 2 companies, but I'm building a company, and I'm going to put it out there, and this is what I'm doing. High Chump, and Chump is actually going to be backed by AI, but if you go to the website, you go to High Chump, you will see that there's no mention of AI on there, because there doesn't need to be, right? The best tech, it extrapolates all of like the back end, and it just gives the people the behavioral change. This is what it's going to do for you. Do you want this product or not, right? People at the end of the day, if someone just fell, someone woke up from a coma and they started using ChatGPT and they didn't know it was AI, they'd be like, this is amazing, right? They don't need to know that it's AI. If someone started using Claude Cowork and they didn't know it was AI, but you just said this is a really powerful future tool, they don't care that it's AI. So with Chump, I'm not saying it's AI at all. Obviously, if you look at it and you know what to look at, you know it's backed by AI. I am using, it will be backed by Anthropic, which is really interesting. But anyways, that is the AI employment paradox. It's something I talk about with people all the time. As I said, anyone who's working on a computer, I've had this conversation with. Hey man, I feel like I have 3 paths. I stay in my job and I just focus on that and I get as good as I can and I may be replaced by AI. I think it's not a maybe, I think it's more of a when than an if. Or I quit my job and I focus all in on AI. That's something I'm doing, something many other people I know are doing. Or I do a hybrid. I also know a lot of people that are doing the hybrid. They're doing the nights and weekends, and that's honestly yielding results because they're taking those skills and bringing it back into their job and becoming more kind of like career or AI irreplaceable, right? Or AI proof in their careers, which I think is also a great way. I don't have that discipline. I want to focus 100% of my time on one thing, so that is what I'm doing. And then finally, the second reason, I was burnt out. I was super burnt out and just needed a change. So being burnt out and also looking at the AI employment paradox and thinking, you know what, if in 5 years I'll be better off for maybe the next 20 years after that because I'm looking at AI today and I take a year, then I think that that's a gamble worth making. Anyway, tell me what you think. Leave your comments below. Are you dealing with this as well? Are you taking any one of those paths? Are you saying, I'm going to stay in my work and I'm just going to be better and I don't care about AI, it doesn't matter? Are you saying, no, I'm going to focus on AI because I think the AI employment paradox is totally a real thing. I'm not, I have enough money to survive for 6 to 12 months, and then I'm going to launch something, and then that's going to work, and I'm doubling down on myself. Or are you doing a hybrid? A lot of people are doing a hybrid. I'd say 80% of people that are kind of aware of AI potentially replacing them are starting to do the hybrid. But anyways, leave a comment below. Let me know what you're doing out of those 3 things. And if you're building something, whether it's on nights and weekends or you quit your job and you're going all in, leave the link below. I want to check out what everyone's building, as many things as possible. I'm building highchump.com. I'm using this brand to share that journey. That will be live ideally on the 22nd. Stay tuned. This has been week 12. I am Jarrett, and I will see you next week.